Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session on lesson planning. And today we're going to talk about the process I use at the beginning of the school year to create a plan for each and every one of my students. Just like they have a IEP, an individualized educational plan, I do create this kind of like a scope and sequence for me to follow. Depends on their academic level, and I usually take about the first week of school, try to test them to see where they are, and then create the plan as I go throughout the school year. We're going to be focusing on the essence statements, a calendar, kind of like a scope and sequence, and then how all that implements into lesson planning, and how does this tie into attainment. So like I said, to get us started, we're going to go to the TEA website and search up StarAlt2 essence statements. And essence statements, there are about 8 to 10 essence statement per tested subject. For today's reasons, I'm going to be going over the math essence statements. So as you can see here, I clicked on the third grade math. We have 4 reporting categories, and under those categories, we have essence statements. And I usually start by counting out the essence statement that they're to figure out how many they are. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So for third grade math, we have 9 essence statements. The next thing I do is I open up an Excel document and kind of like set out all the school year, weeks by weeks and by months. So after that, I go to the academic assessment calendars on the IDEA Public Schools website, and I figure out when is StarAlt being administered this school year. So for this school year, StarAlt will begin to be administered March 21st and end April 15th. So from there, I count how many weeks I have to teach every single essence statement until I hit my StarAlt window. So I do not include the first couple of weeks, since the first couple of weeks are focused on culture and on testing IEP goals, testing for regression during the summer, and all that kinds of stuff. I do leave them out and start my plan around the third week of school. After that, I count how many days I have, like I said, until the StarAlt window. So in this case, I have 13 school days to teach every single one of my essence statement. And this is just an estimate, and this is where we're going to get a little flexible, since sometimes it does take us longer, sometimes it doesn't take as long. So it is important to keep in mind that it is okay to be flexible when it comes to this plan. So after I start with copy pasting all of the essence statement from the TA website, as you can see, I have them here on column A, and then there's come a point where StarAlt verification window and administration window comes, and that's where it stops, right? So after I verify the essence statements, I like to go into the Region 1 website, and I will be sharing this resource with you guys. And I'm going to show you why I like the Region 1 website when it comes to making a plan and going over the essence statements. So like I said, we're going to be going over the math third grade. So I go back to my plan, and I have the 3.2 set out to be taught that first week of school. So then I'm going to go to 3.2, find it. It's right here. And it should be the same essence statement. And the reason why I like going through the Region 1 website is because it already breaks it down for you. And this is where it takes you to know your student and to know what level they're at, so you can come up with where to start. So maybe your student is at a kinder level right here, recite numbers up to at least 100 by ones and tens, beginning with any given number. Okay, so once I have where to start and how to break it up, I just copy paste all of the objective or the TEKS that I will be using for my student to master this essence statement. And I do that for every single essence statement. I like to link mine. That's why you see them underlined in blue. That way it's easier for me when I'm about to start out that specific essence statement. I just click on it and it takes me right into the Region 1 resources. So like I said, for today, we're going to focus on this first one, and I'm going to copy this essence statement into my lesson plan template right here. So this is the lesson plan template I use here on my campus. You can be using a different one. It's okay. It does not matter. Just remember that they might look different, but they include the same components. They should include the same components. So for today, we're going to be using the first essence statement, which is 3.2. Use whole number relations to demonstrate understanding of place value. And then for the TEK part, I'm going to go back to my calendar and simply just copy paste what I'm going to be teaching. So I'm going to teach that pre-K TEK, which is know that objects or parts of objects can be counted. And what is my objective? Well, a student will be able to, and then I look at my attainment. And for today, we're going to be using attainment, the first objective, lesson 1. We're starting fresh. So count 1 to 10 movable objects in a line. So that's going to be my objective right there. So student will be able to count objects, movable objects, I'm sorry, from 1 to 10. Manipulatives. And it can be, this can be a little different, depends on your student, what accommodations they receive and all of that. So for activities, I'm going to be using student will use counting blocks to create number object correspondence with given numbers up to 10. Sorry guys, I can't spell. So if I go back to spelling, okay. And then for materials, I am going to be using, again, attainment. So I'm going to be using lesson 1, activity 1, which focuses on counting objects 1 through 10. I'm going to go back and put attainment. So I'm going to put attainment, early numeric literacy workbook. I'm also going to use manipulatives, counting manipulatives. And then I will continue to fill it out as I am thinking of what I'm going to use. So for level of rigor, my student is at a level 3. Student will be able to choose the number corresponding to the objects counted when given 2 options in 3 out of 5 trials. And then for the exit ticket, remember the exit ticket is something that is presented once, and this is where we track a mastery for the student. So my exit ticket is student will be able to count 5 counting blocks with 100% accuracy. Period. And this for Tuesday, if I am doing the whole week, our essence statement, like I said, stays the same just because we do have 13 days in order for us to teach this same Essence statement, what's going to change is your TEK and your objective every single day, as well as your activities, your materials might change as well. The level of rigor doesn't change. Maybe it changes the way they respond, or they give you their mode of response, I'm sorry, and the exit ticket, of course. So this is how I create my lesson plan. And you might be asking yourself, well, what if I don't have STAAR testing grades? And what if I have little early on grade levels? So as you can see on the Region 1 website that I showed you, the TEKS focus since lower grade levels, and this is where we need to start implementing all of these essence statements and building up that foundation, because once they hit 3rd grade, we don't want them to be so behind and having to catch them up 2-3 years, right? So it is important for us, if we have a pre-K student, well, get your essence statements and get all the pre-K TEKS right here. So recognize 1-digit numbers from 0 to 9 and be able to implement that into your lesson, as well as kinder, 1st grade, 2nd grade, so on and so forth. I do create, and I will share with you guys this OneDrive with one calendar per subject, and then a STAAR test that I do with misconceptions. If you go to math, you'll find the calendar, and as well as the 3rd grade last release STAAR exam, so which is the 2019. I do put it into clusters, the exam, and I go over every single cluster. What are the prerequisite skills that the student needs? What essence statement is it targeting? And then, as you can see, I go question by question. I write, how will I present the question? What are the answer choices my student has? And what are the possible misconceptions? Again, this is just for one student, and this changes for every single one of them, because they might have different misconceptions. They might be at different academic levels. And I go question by question, like I said, and just put myself in my student's shoes so I can know where I can target the misconceptions in my lessons and being able to minimize all the misconceptions. I will be, like I said, I will be sharing this with you guys along with the calendar. There's one per grade level. So if you go to reading, the reading calendar and the test should be there. If you go to 4th grade, the same thing, math, the calendar and the test will be there.